and say, I witness nothing is worthy of worship except Allah, His one alone, without partners or associates. And I also give open a sermon of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the slave servant messenger and seal of the Prophet's peace be upon the Prophet, upon his descendants, upon his companions, and upon the righteous throughout the world, and peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum. We are forever thankful to Allah, highly glorified to see for giving us opportunity. We talked last week in Jumuah, we said the two things Allah gave us is life and opportunity. He said that He is Al Khaliq, He is the Creator. It's very, very important for us to understand that when He creates, we talked about when He creates, He gives everything a specific purpose in His glorious creation. So when He created all of us, He has given us life and then opportunity. Opportunity to build, opportunity to create, an opportunity to make an impact and a contribution to life. So we thank Allah for giving us life, and we thank Him also, and we can never, ever, ever thank Him enough for this Quran. In fact, the book that He says is guidance, hudalinaz, guidance for this great being that He created, who knows how to connect with creation, because that's what Nas is. Nas Linas is this social being, or this connecting being. He understands he's connected to the sun. She understands she's connected to the moon. She's connected to the earth and everything in this creation. So we have an abundance of reasons to be thankful to Allah. So when we come to Jumu'ah, the Jumu'ah is a testament of our gratitude to Allah. Because as we talk over and over again, as we look into the Quran, we see that Allah says this call that is made is not for everyone. This call for Jumu'ah, Allah makes it very clear in the Quran that it is for the believer. It is for the one who made a conscious decision to submit their will to Allah. So if you make a conscious decision to submit your will to Allah, and then you see the benefits that come from that conscious decision, and you understand that He has given you life and opportunity, then you have no reason but to be thankful for Allah, what He has done for you and what He's doing for you right now. In fact, what He's doing for you right now as you sit on this musala. Allah is doing for you right now. It's not about what He did for you yesterday. It's not about what He gave you last week. He's doing for you right now as we congregate. He's giving you the capacity to breathe in life. He's doing something for you right now. He has given you the capacity to hear these words. He's doing something for you right now. And when you understand what He's doing for you, as small as it may seem, it's only intelligent that we say, thank you, Allah. In fact, Allah says in the Quran that He loves those who are appreciative. And we just want to constantly show Allah that we're thankful for opportunity. Opportunity to submit our will to Him, because we understand what the benefit is of submitting our will to Him. So we thank Allah for opportunity, we thank Him for life, we thank Him for the Quran, and we thank Him for the lifestyle of Muhammad the Prophet that shows us how to become a better human being. So we have a lot to be thankful for. When we come to the Jumu'ah, or when we come to the Masjid is a place for development. It's a place for the internal development of the human being. There's a verse in the Quran where Allah clearly says, O you who believe, bow down, prostrate yourself, and adore your evolver, and do good that you may prosper. Why is this so important for the believer? Allah reminds us that we can't bow down to forces. We can't bow down to fads. We can't bow down to personalities that we get into personality worship. That's why we make it very clear as we declare our faith, when we give the Shahadatain, not just one witness, the Shahadatain is two witnesses. And the first part of that witness, as we say, is Shahadu in La ilaha illallah. That there's no force, there's no being, there's no power, there's no personality, there's no thing that is worthy of your devotion and loyalty other than Allah. This ideal of ilah. This force of you giving into something else as having a priority in your life over Allah. That's why Allah even says, see the human being who takes his own passions as a God. Take his own desires as an object of worship. Take his desires to be much more powerful in his life other than Allah. Now, I remember a long time ago, I saw this ad. Many of you may have saw the ad. And the ad was done by Mountain Dew. And the ad says, obey your thirst. That's obeying your impulse. Don't think about it. Just give into drive. See, if you just give into drive, then you're operating on a level of an animal, because the animal only operates out of instinct, no intellect, no spiritual aspiration, but the animal is driven by passion and desire. Now, Allah says he is this social being, he is a human being who he says must think his way through life. That's why even declaring the faith is a thinking process. It's not a feeling. You don't accept the faith because somebody made you feel good. You accept the faith because when you look at everything been said and you put it on a scale and you weigh it, you say, no. As I think about life, as I think about this body I have, with its limitations, with its greatness, Muhammad the Prophet said that he who knows himself knows Allah. So you can't know all of this greatness about yourself and don't let it tie you back to the source that created that life. So when you become into an awareness of knowing yourself, you have to know the source that willed that life into existence. So Mountain Dew said, obey your thirst. I gave you the verse where Allah said, see the man who takes his own desires to be a God. That you're driven by passion. There's another verse in the Quran where Allah said that the appetites are unchecked by knowledge. Now we have to understand, we talked last week about Shaitan and how Shaitan operates in the world. And everything about Shaitan is to distract you from bowing down to Allah. Everything about Shaitan is designed to distract you from Allah and from yourself. Shaitan is the master distractor. You remember last week we talked about Allah created everything and he gave it a destiny. There's a starting point, there's an ending point, and between those two spaces, there's life. It's up, it's down, it's turns, it's twists, it's challenges. And on that journey towards destiny, where you become aware of your destination, see, destiny and destination is connected. He created everything from the beginning, he gave a starting point, and he gave it an ending point. And within that space of time, Shaitan is working. See, Allah gave you opportunity, but Shaitan is working on it because the mission of Shaitan is to distract you from your destiny. You have a great destiny in this great creation where Allah said he gave you an assignment. Just like Muhammad the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had an assignment to deliver the revelation to the world. You know, Muhammad the Prophet was doing his work to bring truth. And when you bring truth to the world, it upsets some people. That's why we talked before. See, the slave is told a lie. The slave is taught that he must say yes to master. The slave is taught that he must be subservient. He has to be a beast of burden carrying the weight of somebody else. The slave does not have the ability to resist. The slave is taught to wait for permission. That's why slavery in America, they lied and taught the man that he was a boy. They told the man that you are a boy. And the man accepted this ideal of a boy can't challenge a man. Here's a lie. A grown man physically able to resist and then bring his force to break somebody down, but he was taught that you are a boy. So when they teach you lies and you accept those lies and those lies begin to govern your life, then your life is shaped by weakness. And when your life is shaped by weakness, you are easily manipulated. And that manipulation will move you from the course of you really realizing your destiny in life. So they told Muhammad the Prophet when he brought the truth, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad, you can't bring this because this is going to disrupt our world. This is going to disrupt our economy. If you bring that truth is going to liberate people because no longer will they bow down to Allah, no longer will they bow down to our whims, to our influences. They will be bowing down to a greater force that will lift them up. See, when you bow down to Allah, Allah lifts you up in the world. That's why he said, oh, you believe, bow down and prostrate yourself to your evolver. Here's the evolutionary process that Allah is taking you from your smallness into greatness. And when you bring truth, it frees people. And when it frees people, then those people become a contending force in society and the world. But if you keep them filled with lies, they have a weak foundation they can't resist. That's why there's a verse in Quran where Allah says, and he says, and we brought you the truth, but most of you hate the truth. That's powerful right there. We brought you the truth. Why do you hate truth? Because you know what truth does for the human being. Truth liberates. That's why I love the verse in the Bible which says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Now, if the truth's going to set you free, then lies must be locking you up. Now, if the human being is to realize their true worth as a human being, they must be fed truth. They said, oh, Muhammad, you bringing this message of liberation and truth and peace and love and about Allah, you're going to disrupt our world. So they appeal to the prophet's uncle. Oh, please tell your nephew to stop teaching this because this is disrupting our world. And Prophet Muhammad, I'm telling you about this ideal of you on this course, you on this move towards your destiny. And in life, you will find the distractors who are working to pull you from your destination. I mean, before they talk about the weapons of mass destruction. And these weapons of mass destruction during the Iraq war, these weapons of mass destruction, they had said that will blow things up. And we got to find the weapons of mass destruction because those weapons can destroy people. Weapons of mass destruction. WMD. That's what it was. WMD. There were those tools that could destroy life. And they was looking for these weapons of mass destruction because they was just that powerful. But then there's another WMD. It has nothing to do with physical weapons of mass destruction, but they will destroy life. And that other WMD is what Shaitan puts out in the world. And the tools that he used, and these are the weapons of mass distraction. Because Shaitan he's the master distractor. We talk about he created you, he gave you a creative form, and he gave you a destiny. So you're on your destiny, and then there's forces that's working to distract you from reaching your destiny. So they told Muhammad the Prophet, look, we made an appeal to his uncle. Look, tell your nephew we'll give him whatever he wants. If he want money, we'll give him money. He want women, we'll give him women. If he want status, we will give him status. We'll give him power. But he got to stop teaching truth. Because if you keep teaching that truth, these people are going to be strong enough to stand up and resist. See, that's what the forces don't want you to do. They don't want you to resist. That's why when we go into Salat, when we make the comment, we come into Qiyam, stand up. That's why Allah says in the Quran that the man is the Qawamun. He's the one that stands up and shoulders the responsibility of his family and society. He's the one that stands up. So you get truth in your life. Truth moves you to stand up. And you're not like a slave. Because the slave doesn't have enough strength because he's been conditioned to bow a cow. But Allah said, you bow down to him. So they told his uncle, if you tell your nephew, we give him status, power, women, whatever he wants. But he got to stop teaching that. Because we can't validate truth being received by the people we're working to manipulate and oppress. We got to continue to teach them lies, teach them about injustices, teach them about weakness, weak ideas, slave concepts. And Prophet Muhammad, who's on his destiny, he's on his path towards his destiny, understand that he has a reason for being in existence. So when he received that revelation, he became aware of his assignment in life. And he knew he was on a course. And they wanted to distract him from completing the assignment. Money, woman, here's those other forces to weaken your base. And Prophet Muhammad said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, if they gave me the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I would not stop teaching this truth until I return to Allah. Allah called me back in the process. That's being powerfully focused. Do you know how powerful the sun? See, the picture is, do you know how powerful the sun is? Without the sun, no life exists. The sun, the plant life pulls in the powerful rays of the sun that we feed our body, and we get life from that powerful source called sun coming through this green food, coming through plant life and vegetation. There's no life without that powerful energy that comes from the sun. So Muhammad the Prophet said, look, as powerful as the sun is, I want you to understand the picture. Here's a man that's powerfully focused on his mission. You give me the sun, as big as it is. And then you give me the moon that reflects the light. How big those forces are. And I ain't stopping this. Because I'm on my journey now. I'm on this journey towards destiny. And you can bring all the distractions. Because that's what you find in life. As you be on this journey, you got all these distractions trying to pull you from the opportunity that Allah gave you. We said from the very beginning, Allah gave you life and He gave you opportunity. You have all these forces operate in society working to pull you from the opportunities Allah gave you. So He said, see the man or the woman who takes his desires to be a God, to be an object of worship. He said, first of all, oh, you who believe, bow down and prostrate yourself before your evolve. When you bow down to Allah, when you go down and put your whole being on the floor before Allah, He lifts you up. When you bow down to your passions, when you bow down to people, when you bow down to ideals, concepts, fads, money, cars, clothes, when you bow down, you go down. But when you bow down to Allah, Allah gonna lift you up. He gonna give you status. He's gonna give you real power. Because the real power is not coming from all these institutions, the entertainment world, the political world, the material world. That's not where real power comes from. Real power comes from Allah, and Allah has allowed you to assume power as being the most evolved creature in existence. You got to know how to use that power. And the best way to use that power is you line your will up with the will of Allah. So it said that, and we brought you the truth, and he brought you the truth, but most of you hate the truth. Wow. Because the truth is a liberating force. If you teach truth, you free people. That's why Allah said that Muhammad relieved them from the shackles that are upon them. That the people are locked up, and they're not just locked up physically, but they become locked up spiritually. They become locked up emotionally and psychologically. And slavery still exists today. We talked about that clearly last week. Slavery still exists today in 2019. Physical, psychological, emotional, and even financial freedom. Financial slavery. In bondage. And we teach Al-Islam to liberate people so they can serve and do their work and move towards their destiny. You got a destiny when Allah created you. And you can't afford to be distracted from your destiny. So the verse goes on to say, bow down, prostrate yourself, and adore your evolver, and do good, that you may prosper. See, Allah wants you to prosper. Allah doesn't want us to be without. Allah doesn't want us to accept this ideal that we live in a world of lack. We don't live in a world of lack. We live in a world with nothing but abundance. Everywhere you turn, there's opportunity. And even some of the great opportunities have come out of some of the worst times. Don't you know that? Some of the best opportunities have come when it was dark. Because now your creative ability has to go in effect, because now you're moving that you have to make things happen. Why? You depend on Allah. And he gave us everything we need. All we got to do is tap into it. If we tap into what he has given us, it's just like you putting a spike in a tree and the maple syrup comes out. That's how much opportunity is all around you. Have you ever seen that before? They take whatever you call it, the little piece of metal, they pop it in the tree. I've seen it happen. Pop it in the tree, and not the honey, the syrup flows out the tree. And once you tap into this creation, the abundance Allah put in this creation will come out to you. It'll flow to you just like that. So you have to realize you have a destiny, you're moving towards destiny, and then there's those forces that's working to distract you from reaching your destiny. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Assalamu alaikum. So the verse says, and we have brought you the truth, but most of you hate the truth. I have to think about that. Truth is what's going to free people. That's why I tell you about that verse that I tell you I quoted that ad with Mountain Dew said, just obey your thirst. In fact, they'll have you obeying your thirst so much, they will have you drinking death. If you look at the toxic combination, and some of the things they have people drinking, it'll blow your mind if you knew what you was drinking. The master distracted deceive people so much they have them happy about death. I'm telling you about these advertisers, these marketers, and Shaitan, how they operate. Man, the marketers are so heavy into lying to people, the advertisers, wicked people. They had people walking around promoting death. You know, see, I grew up in a time, if you saw a skull and bone, you knew what that meant. If you saw a skull and bone, that meant this is potential death. Wherever you're going, it's potential death. This is toxic. They can condition people so much where people accept death like his life. Guy walk around boldly on his chest, he got a skull and bone. Like he's promoting life. He promoting death. He got on his hat, he got on his belt buckle, got on his sweatshirt, t-shirt. He's promoting a culture of death. But see, Shaitan can condition you so skillfully, you don't even be aware of it. And you pridefully walk, promoting death when in fact you should be promoting life. That's what we talk, and we will continue to talk, that the greatest trick Shaitan pulled on the human being was in conditioning him to believe that he don't exist. They just say, this is normal living, that's all right, everything is cool. It's not that serious. When in fact it is. Shaitan's mission is to make you relax. It ain't that serious. Yes, it is. That our mission is to promote life. Our mission is to promote truth. To do battle with the competing forces of lies, so much that the Quran says we hurl the truth against falsehood, and it knocks out his brain, for falsehood by its nature is an ever-perishing thing. We have to be hurling truth against all this foolishness. Because the truth means that which is durable and lasting. When you got truth in your life, you got a firm foundation to stand on. But when your life has been conditioned by lies, you can't handle truth. So you start to develop a dislike for truth. Simply because you've been conditioned to believe it ain't that serious. So we have to be on this mission as we move towards our destiny to carry truth to the masses so the masses can realize their true worth and value as they connect with Al Haq, the ultimate truth, which is Allah himself. He says he's Al Haq. He is the sure reality. All this other stuff is really, really fake. Forget that fake news. All this stuff is fake. When you disconnect yourself from Allah, you won't see real truth. So we work hard to strengthen the relationship with Al Haq, Allah himself, so we can be liberated. Because we understand the purpose of truth is to give us a foundation by which we can build a strong life. You can't build a strong life with lies. You only build a strong life with truth. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, keep telling the truth. For truthfulness leads to good deeds, and good deeds lead to paradise. If someone continues to speak the truth and make truth his target, then he will be recorded in Allah's presence as being a truthful person. Avoid lying, for lying leads to wrongdoing, and wrongdoing leads to hell. And if a man continue to tell lies and make lying his target, he will be recorded in Allah's presence as a liar. He said that you got to keep telling truth because truthfulness leads to good deeds, and that good deeds is going to lead to paradise. Not just when you die, it's going to lead to paradise as you live on earth, because your life is going to be a reflection of paradise. We have to speak truth. You got people lying all day long, lying in business, lying all over the place. Lying in the White House, which is a dark house, and lying all over the place. So he says, speak truth because truthfulness leads to good deeds so you can do the right thing. You can help people. You can serve people. You're not trying to manipulate people. You're trying to lift people up because truth means that you're working to free people. When you bring the truth, you're working to liberate people. That's why it says, see the one who take his own desires to be a guide. They tell you obey your thirst. No, obey Allah. See, we say obey Allah. If you tell people to start obeying your thirst, you're going to produce a bunch of slaves. And our identity is only in being a slave servant of Allah, highly glorified as He. And we can, when we classify ourselves as Abdullah, which is the highest position you can take. Listen, you can't go no higher in the world than being a slave servant. There's no higher status. You want status? That's the highest status you can take. I don't care what you have materially. I don't care what you have financially. There's nothing more supreme than being Abdullah. That's why Hajj is a prime example. You let go of all these status indications, and you see a human being who says, I am Abdullah. That's my identity. And Abdullah means I can connect with human beings, and I don't classify them as being less than me. I see them as human beings. So you want status? Assume the position of Abdullah. When you assume the position of Abdullah, then your soul becomes free. So your spirit got to be free. Because a lot of people are spiritually enslaved. They're spiritually in bondage. Their spirit is connected to this person. Their spirit is connected to this money. Their spirit is connected to this fad. No, your spirit must be connected to Allah. And then you will see how all those other forces can work in your life to help you to grow so you can fulfill your destiny on planet Earth. So the highest position you can take is Abdullah. Or you believe, bow down and prostrate yourself and adore your evolver and do good that you may prosper. Allah wants you to prosper. He doesn't want you to be lacking. He doesn't want you to be broke. He doesn't want you to feel that you're inferior. He wants you to prosper. That's why we get the call every day. Hayya ala salat, hayya ala falah. Come to prayer, which connects you to Allah, and then as you become inspired through your salat, then you begin to move lively towards the cultivation of the power, the ability, and the life Allah put in your body from your head all the way down to your toes. That's the kind of power Allah gave you so you can prosper. And then when you prosper, you can go out there and do the work. We'll read this verse, then we close. After it goes on, and strive in His cause as you ought to strive with sincerity and under discipline. He has chosen you and has imposed no difficulties on you in this religion. It is the way of your father Ibrahim. It is He who named you Muslim both before and in this revelation, that the messenger may be a witness to you and you be a witness to mankind. So establish regular prayer, give regular charity, and hold fast to Allah. Got to hold fast to Allah. No matter how tough things may get, hold on to Allah. He is your protector, the best to protect and the best to help. That's a formula showing you and I how to live. He said He named you Muslim. Follow the way of Ibrahim, who's the logical thinking man, the rational being. And then He said that you should be a witness for the world after Muhammad the Prophet has been a witness to you. Establish the prayer, give the charity, and hold on to Allah. Hold fast to Allah. And the reason why you hold fast to Allah, because He says after that, He is your protector and He is the best of helpers. Al-Islam has given us, Allah has given us everything we need in this way called Al-Islam. All we have to do is take this prescription in this formula, in this healing process. That's what the Quran is. The law says it is a shifa, it is a healer. All we have to do is take this formula in this healing system and apply it to our lives, and we will become better human beings, making our contribution to life as we move towards our destiny. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum.